What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Seven-time Grand Slam winner Venus Williams loses in the first round of the U.S. Open for the first time in her illustrious career, falling to Karolina Muchova, 6-3, 7-5. I was really looking forward to Venus joining her sister in the second round, but didn't happen. She had a hard time with her new service game. She got a new serve that she brought to the table, and it was a more of a compact serve. But when it got down to it, she fell into old habits and started kind of recoiling on her serve, and it cost her dearly in this matchup with Muchova. Not able to get her first serve over at a consistent basis, constantly put her in second service situation, and Muchova capitalized on that. She got inside the baseline, got like a feet on the court, and she was able to dictate more of the points on Venus's serve, as she was able to control the matchup in the first set 6-3, as Venus just struggled with her serve, and Muchova did a good job of on the return shots, hitting the ball at Venus's feet. Venus is very tall, one of the most tallest women's player on tour, very tall, and she was hitting shots at her feet where Venus would have to bend over to get to the ball, and she struggled with that aspect of her game. That was a smart move on Muchova's part. Another thing Muchova did was she was able to really beat Venus in the power game. She was just more consistent with her ground strokes. She was more consistent with her first serves, and she just played a complete game. Now, with that being said, Venus still had a chance in the second set. She was up 5-3. It looked like she was going to win the second set and force a third set tiebreaker. But she just fell apart, man. Her service game vanished again. Went haywire on her, as she had a hard time again getting her first serve over. And then in tennis, when you're playing women's at the elite level tennis, if you constantly in your second serve, what those women or men going to do is, instead of playing in the behind the baseline, they're going to step feet into the baseline and catch the ball early and start dictating points. And that's exactly what Muchova did, man. She just played a strong all-around game. She struggled again, like I said, in that second set, but she was able to make an adjustment, get control of the match, and pretty much win the last four games of that match to win it 7-5 in the second set. Now, Venus came into this matchup really struggling, but what you could say about her game was, even in the majors, she was always guaranteed to win the first round matchup, but that was not the case today, as she suffers her first loss in a Grand Slam at the U.S. Open. Now she'll be have to quickly recover from this loss and get ready for the French Open that's going to take place in later on in September. That matchup will be on clay, so that's going to be a different surface than what she played on tonight, a hard court surface at the U.S. Open. So she'll have to work on that. I don't know if they'll have any warm-up tournaments leading up to the French Open. And if they do, I advise Venus to think strongly about participating in a warm-up tournament to try to get her clay court game somewhere familiar with the clay court game leading up into the French Open. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see what transpires. But just a kind of disappointing night for Venus. Had Serena in the stands watching her, as Serena was in the suites. They letting players stay in those suites while they watch other matches. Instead of using those player lounges, they're letting them the top-seeded players use the suites at the U.S. Open. So she was at the suites with her husband and her dog watching Venus play, and hoping Venus would join her in the second round, but that was just not meant to be, as she came up short in that matchup. What Venus has got to do is, I think she's got to do one or two things. I kind of advise her to play in more matches, but at her age, 40 years old, that might be more wear and tear, and that might make it more difficult for her to compete into Grand Slams and possibly make it to the second week of the Grand Slam, let alone win a championship. She's getting bounced. Seemed like earlier in these Grand Slam tournaments, more frequently in the last 5 years, but actually this has been the earliest she ever was eliminated in the U.S. Open. She's always at least made the second round, so she was out in the first round. So she's got to work on her game. She brought some new things to the table. She brought a new serve to this game. It's kind of hard to break out a new serve in a Grand Slam. Coming off a pandemic where you ain't played that much. I think she played on a tennis team league. She played in that, and then she played in a little warm-up tournament in Lexington. That was a tournament that didn't feature many top-ranked players, but she was working on her new serve in those two tournaments, and she was working on her forehand, but her forehand just let her down. She was catching a lot of balls too late, a lot of unforced errors. Her backhand was shaky too, and she just had a lot of unforced errors. You know, had winners, but had too many unforced errors just to win that match and beat a player of the caliber of a Karolina Muchova. So we'll see what the future holds for Venus Williams, but she like I said, she brought a lot of new things that she was working on to this first round matchup, and then you was playing a lady that was ranked number 20, was the 20th seed in the U.S. Open, so she was basically the underdog going into this match. So it was just a lot of things and a lot of obstacles for her to overcome. Wasn't able to do that, and we'll just look forward to her at the French Open and see what she brings to the table at that tournament. Let me know what you think about Venus Williams losing in the first round to Karolina Muchova, 6-3, 7-5 in the first round of the U.S. Open. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.